Hello again, welcome to part 2, creating an original landscape from scratch. Placing your animal hybrid is what we're going to do first. And then we're going to add details with shapes, with blurs and blends. We kind of hit that a little bit with the first tutorial, but I'm going to show you some other tips and things that you might want to try. And then last but not least, the bread and butter of this whole thing is how you're going to make it all work is finding and utilizing brushes. Okay? Using brushes to really add details, embellishments, and make it look believable. Okay, here we go. So for the first part, placing your animal hybrid, basically from your other design, your original hybrid file that you created, you just need to cut it out with the magnetic lasso or some type of selection tool, and then drag and drop the file or the layer on. This is one solid layer now. You guys would probably have multiple layers for your animal. You could either merge those, select them and merge them together. Command E is the command for that. Or you could just save your initial file as a JPEG and then open it back up in Photoshop and then cut it out. That's one way. Because a JPEG will flatten all your layers together, so you don't have to worry about all those layers, being there or not being there. Okay, and then just drag it over from your other file. Here I have two files. If you have two tabs in Photoshop, you can easily drag. Let me get this going. Easily drag one file to the next without any recourse. It's a little big. He's way in the foreground. Hello. Alright, so let me get rid of that and put him back up there. There we go. Okay, next part. Next part. Here we go. Okay. Then what I thought I wanted to do with this is to have some kind of light source, right? Because there's a shadow there, so it makes sense to have a light source, right? So a couple shadows. We talked about that in the last part. So now what I wanted was to create a sun. Okay. Now I'm not going to put a sun up in the corner like we do in first grade. Okay, my son does that. He's 10, or he's 7. Sorry, my daughter's 10, and he puts the suns in the corner of the picture. We all used to do that, but we're not going to do that anymore because that's elementary. But now with the sun, maybe the sun's going to be rising up out of the horizon. Now you guys you don't have to do this. You can do whatever you want. Obviously you have a different animal than I do. You're going to want to put him or her in a different environment, make it believable. Maybe you want an Arctic scene. You don't even have to use a ellipse here. You could just create a straight line and use a landscape that way. Or use a rectangular marquee tool and make the land look just flat. You could do that if you want to. But remember, this is surreal. So you can take it and make it a crazy scene. What I would recommend you do is look at examples. Go back online and just look at examples of landscapes. Find a picture like this one and see if you can recreate it for your own purposes. Okay? We're not going to use photographs for this project. We're going to recreate it using a photograph as inspiration, okay? And that's what I'm hoping these lessons are going to help you do, okay? So with my son, basically what I did was I created a circle, obviously. I filled it with this yellow color, and then I applied this filter, this blur, this Gaussian blur to it, just to blur the edges, okay? And then it has a normal blend mode on it. Then I wanted to make it look like it's haze, because, a sun is not completely one color. It's got value in it. It's got gradients in it. So what I want to do is create one on top of it, try to highlight that a little bit. Let me just show you what that looks like normally. So right now it has a blend mode of overlay on it. I'm going to switch that back to normal so you can see what it looked like. It's just a white layer. It's just a white circle filled with white applied with a Gaussian blur. I did that again. I put it above my yellow sun and then I applied an overlay to it because I want it to be overlaid on the other part, okay? And that's what it looks like. Third, I want to, the next part is I created a new sun, Okay, and I'll show you just what that looks like by itself. And once again, this file is in the Maple Grove Assign drive. You can open it up and take a look at it for yourself. But this one has a multiply blend mode over it. Without that, I'll show you what it looks like. It's just it's a circle with a blur applied to it. And then what I did is I applied a gradient to this. A radial gradient of orange to yellow. So it starts out orange in the center, and then it has a radial gradient applied to it, and it fades out into yellow, okay? Or more of an orange yellow. All right, there you have it. Let me switch that back to multiply. Or is it there? Where it is? Okay. And this one has overlay. Let's just see. Does this have overlay or multiply? Let's take a look. What's better? Oh, nope, that's not better. Soft light? Nope. Multiply is better. All right, so you might have to just play around with it until you get it. I don't really like that hard edge, but it'll work for me for right now. Okay. All right, so there's one way you can do a sun. All right, you can do probably a moon the same way, add some texture if you wanted a moon instead. The options are endless here, okay? But really think about how you can use shapes in that way, okay? Next is we're going to add details with shapes. I showed you that, blurs and blends. We did that. Finding and utilizing brushes. This is the fun part, okay? So here we go. Brushes. Let's start at the very bottom. So we have to think about foreground, middle ground, and background, okay? A lot of brush work happens here, and what I did was I just went online and I found some free downloadable brushes, okay? And you can find websites like this. This is Q brushes, and I just found some grass brushes that you can find pretty easily. You can use those, but I also took the liberty and put some my brushes. Here's the grass brush, my grass, and then texture brushes into the 3.5 animal hybrid folder in the Maple Grove Assign drive. Okay, it's all right there. Okay, it's in the Maple Grove Assign. You guys can access that. All you have to do is double click on these and it'll be imported into your Photoshop. It should. If it doesn't, call me over and I'll help you. But you can do a lot of searching for your own brushes if you want. Okay, and I'll show you what I did here. Some of you are trying to open up the door and get in early. Sorry, I'm not opening the door for you because I don't want to start this tutorial over. All right, so there it is. So here we go. Layer. Let's see. I have a grass layer. All right, and so I'm just with any time you want to apply some new texture or a brush, you always want a new layer. All right, because if you don't, if you don't organize your layers, and if you're not putting on a new layer, you might make a mistake and you might want to take it away. Okay, so with the brushes, notice with the brush tool, here we go, I have all these different brushes, and that's when you want to apply a brush, you have to hit the append button. Let me show you. Okay, so once you're in your brushes, what you might have to do is go up to this arrow over here. You have to load brushes. I found that that's probably, by clicking on the file in the Maple Grove Assign drive, it may not load it. You have to click on load brushes and then find it. Find the 3.5 animal promo and then click on the brush. Double click on the brush and that'll load the brushes into your brush palette. Okay? And then you'll have it. Alright? Now I have a lot of different brushes here. If I choose a green, maybe I want a dark green color, and I'm going to do this on a new layer. All right, there it is. There's some grass. Right now it has a flow of 50%. You might want to go back and forth with your grass. And then what you might want to do is, when you do that, transform it. Apple T or edit transform, and then depending on the surface you have, you might want to tilt it. And then I took my eraser to it. Okay, always use your eraser. Your eraser is a good tool. And then I hit some of the edge, okay, to make it look believable. And I layered this up, a lot of different layers, okay. So let me just show you all the different layers I did. More grass over here. Different colors, choose different colors. Grass is not the same, You know, get creative with it. You are a painter right now, and you are using different colors, different values. It's looking more real, right? Different values back there. Okay. Now it doesn't have to be grass. It can be twigs. It can be. This is just the grass brush. You can use leaves. You can use rocks. There are rock brushes out there. Get creative with what you want to do. Here's some front grass. I put some grass in front because I wanted to make it look like he was sitting in the grass, right? Do I have any other grass? Let's see. I don't think so. Let me just start clicking open all these different brush layers, and you can see what you can do with them. Okay, then so that's pretty much the grass right now. I wanted some mist, and this is strictly a hazy mist brush, and I believe it's in the ones that I gave you. The hazy mist brush is, it looks, I don't know. There's rain brushes in here. It's crazy, all these different. Use these to recreate your own surreal picture. Subtlety is key. Don't go nuts with it, but you want good design. There's some rain brushes. I forget where my mist brushes went. I think they're at the bottom. Fog. Oh yeah, it's fog. Here we go. And these are stars. That's some fog right there. Okay, so I'll just show you what these look like. The hazy mist. So it's just a white hazy mist that I'm putting in there. Large hazy mist. Ooh, I like that one. Okay, it's coming in through. Any more mists? Let's see. Hazy mist 2. There we go on the right side. Lower left hazy mist right there. Okay, building it in. Building all the mist. There we go. Okay. And I like that it's covering up a lot of my blemishes and stuff too. Got some foliage here. I'm almost out of time, so I want to speed this up, but and you guys are wanting to get in. So let me just show you the nebula. So also nebula, stars. It's also in the brushes. Okay, there's nebula and stars and stuff if you want. Okay, so large center nebula. There it is. It's just a splatter effect. It's kind of fun. That's just a watercolor brush that I'm borrowing. Okay, and then just kind of working that in different different points. When I did this, I had to rotate it. Rotate your layers. Don't make them all the same. Make it. You have to alter whenever you make a brush on a new layer. You have to alter it. You have to change it in some way so it's not repetitive. You want to make this look believable. Okay. So let me open these up. I got some different stars, and here's my front foliage. I'm really working the foreground with foliage now. These are all just different brushes, and I did apply probably that's a hard light effect to my foliage, maybe a dark color. Always go back to your blend modes. Think about your blend modes and how you can blend this in. Okay. You guys, by the time you're done with this, you're gonna know Photoshop front and back, and you're gonna be able to make anything you want. Okay, and there's some star. There's a little star I put up there. That star has an overlay because I wanted kind of the background to show through, and I think I put a little hazy circle around it. I put a circle with the ellipse tool around that star, and then I put a Gaussian blur, and then I emerged those layers together. Okay, to give it that little effect. Okay, you can think about it. Don't necessarily copy what I'm doing, but make it your own. That's pretty much it. Look at all the layers are open now. Okay. And we'll talk about vignette effect in a different lesson. Okay, good luck, guys. Hopefully you can start using these brushes to get creative with what you want to do. Good luck.